Jackie.
Oh, hi. Hi, Sylvia. How are you?
I'm not very fine. There's something wrong.
Oh, what's wrong?
I'm so stressed and I feel like I need to talk to someone.
We can meet.
Yeah.
Okay, let's meet in like an hour at Java.
1 hour later.
You don't look okay. What's wrong?
I just find out that my boyfriend is cheating on me. Yeah, I don't know. I can't even explain.
Wait a
I'm
minute.
just.
Auntie cheating on you. That's
Yeah.
nothing. 20 years ago, my first boyfriend, I even found out that he was about to get married. I saw cards, wedding cards. And yours is nothing.
Yeah.
We can pray about it, but I don't know. I don't see why you're looking like that.
I'm so stressed. He's my first boyfriend, you know.
But that's nothing.
Yeah.
But we'll try and pray for you.
So how did you feel about that conversation, Sylvia?
I felt like Jackie did not listen to me.
Yeah.
She jumped to conclusion. She did not give me enough time to explain myself, and she was comparing my story to her story. Yeah.
Thank you so much.
Not like that in real life.
Oh, hi, Alice.
Hi, Samantha. How are you?
I'm well. How are you? Okay, I'm not quite actually stressed, but
Oh,
yeah.
so sorry.
I look it. Yeah, I'm trying to be strong, but it's really getting to me. Yeah. You want us to have a seat?
Can you mute
Your time. I really don't want to be a bother.
I do.
All right, Alice, what's really going
Can you
on? I've been having issues with my husband. I don't know if you know, but I've been arguing all the time. It's really getting to me, and it's really frustrating.
I'm so sorry. I really empathize with you. It must be a difficult thing that you're going through.
Yeah, it is, and especially because we've been together like 15 years, so we have children, my in-laws, you know, it's not just us, it's a big extended family, so yeah, it's really stressing me. Yeah.
And how is this affecting you apart from the stress?
Yeah, it spills over, you know. I mean, at work, I find myself, I'm not concentrating, and I talk to the kids, sometimes I'm shouting at them, but it's not them I mean to shout to, it's their father, so yeah, it's really, and then also the mom really loves me, so talking to her, I have to pretend that I'm okay, but I'm not, so it's really affecting me all around. And I have a history with the ulcers, and I feel like it's starting to come back, so it's really stressing me out.
Oh dear. Yeah, you really need to take care of yourself to be able to handle the situation. But what options are you looking at to help resolve this?
Yeah, I've heard about counseling, I'm not sure, I don't even know if my husband will agree to come with me, but yeah, I think, yeah, that, and also I'm a very prayerful woman, so I've been trying to get verses that encourage me, and one verse that speaks to me is Philippians 4:4, do not be anxious about anything, through prayer and supplication, requests to God, so it has really been speaking to me and it calms me down. Yeah.
And I really love that about you, both being prayerful and reading the word of God. But why would you feel God is leading you in this situation?
I think I'm sure I'm not the first to go through such a rough patch in marriage. I'm sure I will get through this, that's for sure. So I'm very, very much willing to, get help and also come out as an example to others. So, yeah, because I mean, marriages nowadays it's tough, especially the young ones. The staying power is very different. You need to give it some time, and I'm willing to do that. So
I love you. I should come and borrow a leaf from you as well. Yeah, so then as you go, I would like to pray for you, Saturday.
thank you so much. Already talking to you, it feels so much better.
I'll pray for you, so model prayer, and then I shall call you during the week to find out.
Thank you so much. I hope you're okay. Sorry, I'm never going to ask you.
I am well, I'm fantastic. Thank you for
We
asking.
should catch up sometime. I really have to go now.
Yes, take care.
Feel about that conversation?
I felt hard because actually I realized that years ago. I wish I had.
I didn't know that. I just asked her. Actually, it's Anne. I need someone to help with the role play. I didn't know what it was. It's like,
Yeah.
Thank you so much for sharing. So what do you guys think about the two conversations? There's one that is a bad one, yeah? And there's a good one that achieved something at least, yeah? So when we're looking at conversations, let's have our conversations effective. And one of the things that we can do is have a clear goal, as we said earlier, when you're going to meet someone, especially if you already have formed a relationship, a discipleship relationship. We already know the goal, yeah? So when you're meeting, we are working towards being more Christ-like. So when we're talking, that's what we have at the back of our mind. Another point is we have shared information. I mean, this was just met on the road. But it's important to have, if you're in a discipleship relationship, to have shared information such that somebody is aware. Maybe I'm going to do this, they called, oh, okay, I'll be praying even as we meet. And maybe when you meet, you're talking about that information. After, you're also following up, so that it's not like it was just for the moment they forgot. You know, then there is follow-up of what is actually happening. And then there's also the part of strengthening relationship. Thank you. Strengthening relationship, and here the key ingredient is trust. I know one of the things that white people don't share. Most of us here ladies, we have a story. People have issues. Yeah, we are living this life. Yeah, the struggle here. Even Jesus said, we will face trouble. So we cannot hide. We cannot pretend that everything is okay. I come on Sunday, I'm looking so good, but inside I'm crashing. And you're coming to church, and that church is where you can't even find help. The interesting thing is that even sometimes, even in church, people go to look for help somewhere else, where nobody knows me during registration about, have you been discipled? And the answers were good. The responses, I think, when I was hearing from the community, over 50% say they have been discipled. That's really good. I just maybe say, maybe they could also ask, have you discipled someone yourself after being discipled? Because now that's where, well, how many of us say they have been discipled? Maybe by a show of hand. Oh, that's great. How many have never been in any discipleship relationship? No, you won't be. You're not sweating yourself or anything. It's just there are others who did raise their hands, yeah? So, yeah, and those who have been discipled, I hope it's a multiplication, because when you pass on the faithfulness, being faithful, when you are taught and you are teaching, and that is how multiplication happens. Otherwise, if we stay with it, then we are not doing what we need to do. So we are going to look at the how. The how now is the heart of the matter. How do we do this disciple? How do we disciple? What are some of the techniques that we can use? And those are some of the skills that we have also learned through Entrust on how do we disciple others. And also, as I have read a book called Making Disciples, One Conversation at a Time by Dr. Michael Anderson, and it gave me also a good perspective on some of these things, as much as we have learned them as skills, just to bring them together. And I will be referring to that too. But we have titled our conversation today, Discipling and Mentoring the Jesus Way. So Jesus is our model. We have already agreed that, yeah? Is Jesus our model? He's the one who started making disciples, yeah? And now we are here. So I just want to ask us, which are some of the ways that we see how Jesus discipled? Because those are the techniques that we want. We are looking at Jesus and what he did, and we want to emulate him, and we want to make disciples as we are disciples ourselves. So which are some of the ways that Jesus, we see Jesus making disciples? And maybe I'll ask just a few people to respond, and I'll ask Samantha to help me to scribe as we respond. When we look at the life of Jesus, which are some of the ways we see him making disciples? Illustrations and stories. A small group. We call it a small group. Yeah. He was present, right?
He also showed by example.
He showed by example, showed by example, demonstrated.
Yeah. Angered by them.
Yeah. Sometimes he got angry with them, yeah? And rebuked them. Private tutorials. Yes, I like that. He gave private tutorials.
He taught them how to pray.
He taught them, so he taught them a lot. He taught taught them how to pray, taught them how to understand the kingdom of God.
And
Those are very good answers.
and spoke to them in parables that later they would ask questions and he would illustrate to them what it all means.
Questions first,
Yes.
about some thought-provoking moments for them.
Yeah.
Faith.
Yes.
So we have a lot to learn from Jesus, right?
Yeah.
When we see that he's our example, we see a lot that we can learn from them, and those are the techniques that we share, and you have shared most of them. So just when we look at like small groups, how Jesus called, Jesus had a lot of crowds following him, but he decided, I'm going to call these 12, and and he says, come follow me, and I will make you fishers of men. And we also see him, as you have said, having private conversations with each of them. We also know that he concentrated on some three. Who are these three that Jesus, we see him really bringing close to him?
Peter, John,
and James. So Jesus demonstrates to us how to form this discipleship relationship, and he starts by making intimate relationship. You see that he's forming a small group so that he may be able to have some intimate moments with them, because he could not have those intimate moments in the crowd. Yeah, he had to have a small group where when he sits, he can talk to them, he can have some time with one-on-one with each of them individually. And of course, in John chapter 15, verse 13, the Bible says, greater love has no one than this, that he laid down his life for his friends. Jesus actually laid down his life for his friends. Who? Us. But most of us will not even have that opportunity. Or is there anyone who has laid down their life here for a friend? None, yeah? That one is not even a question to us. But we can sacrifice. The sacrifice part of making discipleship is when we give our time, give our resources, leave our inconveniences, because most of the time when you're discipling, there's something to give, your time, your resources, so that you are able to walk with your friends. So Jesus demonstrates that to us, and when we look at making small groups and also having one-on-ones, it is built on a basis of relationship. There's no way you can disciple people if there's no relationship. If there's just people who come to gather together and live, there's no way we form relationship. And I know even for the women leadership, they wanted us to meet so that we can get to know each other and feel warm, have fellowship. And this is good, because when we don't get to meet each other, then the bond is not there. Yeah? When we are not together, there's no way we can grow the bond. So one of the ways is to actually have small groups, and from the small groups, then you're able to identify the faithful ones. From there is when now multiplication starts, because as we have said, we entrust it to the faithful people. Because sometimes it can be a tall order if we are entrusting things to someone who's not faithful. Actually, it's just a waste of time. Dr. Michael Anderson says, one faithful person is like a gold mine. That one person. So when you're thinking about discipling, don't start being overwhelmed like, where is this? How many people? Just that one person. That one person. You don't know the ripple effect that it can cause. So if you are discipling one person, you are doing a part in the work of the Lord. But if you are not doing anything, and sometimes people ask, oh, how? Where will I find this person to disciple? We don't have that answer, but we can pray, because the Lord provides. I know the Lord provides, and sometimes you even wonder who, and God brings someone, and you're like, oh, wow, I have not thought of this person. So even just praying in that. And then when we are forming discipleship relationship, we need to have a clear goal. We need to understand with your friend that this is what you are doing. One of the things that is not advisable is, as much as we talked about someone who's more knowledgeable, passing the information to others, what is advised is that we avoid to say, I am discipling so-and-so. Because sometimes in a discipleship relationship, what happens, if someone feels like you are above them, you can stunt their growth, because they always have to match up to, they cannot, the student cannot pass the teacher, yeah? But when you are entering into a discipleship relationship, it's advisable to say, can I walk with you and help you to be that which God has planned for you, as you also help me? So that, sometimes the person can, because spiritual growth is not time bound. Yeah? One person can achieve in 1 year what someone has taken 10 years to achieve. It just depends on your commitment and your desire to grow. So as much as that is true, that could be true in that relationship, that this person is actually more knowledgeable, it is not wise to use that kind of word that I am discipling so and so. We are working together. So the idea here is to start small, go deep, and reach wide. You do what? Start small, go deep, reach wide. Let's write that together. Start small, go deep, and reach wide. And we have said that discipleship happens in the context of friendship. You cannot disciple someone if you have not formed a relationship. So the beginning is to form relationships, to try and form a relationship, and that is where you can be able to ask someone that we can work together. And how can we identify a faithful person? Is it possible to identify a faithful and reliable person? Yeah, we know that, yeah? Because even at workplace, you know the person I can give work and it will be done. And you know the people. So even as you're meeting with your small group, or you're able to see and say, this is a faithful person. I can actually entrust this piece to this person, and they will pass them on. So we suggest that you invite someone in, you set a goal and the objective, and the objective is Colossians 1:28. That is the objective. We proclaim Christ, we admonish, we teach with all wisdom, so that we may present everyone fully mature in Christ. And also it's good to set timelines. If you're getting into a relationship, you can decide how long do we want to work together. Is it 3 months? Is it 6 months? Is it 1 year? Especially just for that discipleship relationship, because the relationship might continue even after that. But this particular one that has an objective has to be defined in a certain way so that we are both in the same level as we're working together. Another important one, which Jackie has already gone to, is effective conversations that we see as it came out of here. Jesus had time talking to them, asking them questions, sharing with them, a lot of demonstration that he did.
Not to me,